I don't mean to be boastful or anything like that. I'm trying to get this opinion out to people, this understanding of who the leaders are and what they think about, because they are so beyond what we think about.
But these leaders are the very leaders that you tell me who do not think, who practice Luciferianism, yet don't really see him as evil, and these are the very people who run in the world.
Yes.
So they don't. Do they see any form of evil at all, or is it just no evil for them, and there's no God? Is that what we're saying?
Well, no, they do believe in a deity. They believe in a higher power, and that's critical to Freemasonry. If you don't believe in a deity, then you can't be a Freemason. So they do believe in deity. They do believe in spirit. They just believe that their spirit's stronger and better than everyone else's.
Huh.
But
okay.
Yeah,
it's a lot to consume because mostly all. I guess you would say alternative radio seems to be able to show this connection, this association between Luciferianism and evil. And you're saying, yes, maybe, maybe not. But these people who are running the world, you say they do have a deity, but is the deity a holy deity, a divine deity, or is it some other form?
It's holy and divine to them. Yeah. When we start to speak of religion and trying to understand, if you were to take this from a Muslim perspective, you would see it completely different. Because you would realize that what we're looking at is the idea of the Dajjal, or the lead jinn, and that they are using these jinns, or demons, to control powers on planet Earth. And so if you were looking at this from a Muslim perspective, you would see this completely different. Now, Obama has claimed to be both a Christian and a Muslim, so... Well, he tried to retract the Muslim statement, but a lot of evidence showing that his Indonesian roots were Muslim. Is he a natural-born citizen? Was he born in Hawaii? And if he was born in Hawaii, was he old enough? His mom was not old enough to make him a natural-born citizen. All of these things, even John McCain was not technically a natural-born citizen, being born on a military base in Panama. So this was something I laid out in 1998. I have a database on my blog from 2006. That you can see that clearly this was all part of the plan. And so now they get everyone rallying against it. And they've got people standing up in town hall meetings, screaming out, trying to get everybody to say the Pledge of Allegiance and demand the birth certificate, when they should be questioning why they have a birth certificate. Because once you realize why you have a birth certificate and that you are owned and operated by this fascist corporation that actually rules the nation and most of the world, then you start to realize, that you shouldn't be demanding the president's birth certificate. You might want to just start reasoning who controls your life, who is creating your culture. Everybody was looking for this third Antichrist, and I find that very interesting as well, how much we are all waiting for the end of the world. But I say it's all scripted. I say everything they're doing is scripted.
You know what? Freeman could very well be contrived to make us think we're at the end times so that we would give up easily.
Exactly. That's why they cast what I call these spells. The stage magicians, they have to destroy the concept. You see, magic is an ability to create concepts into people's minds and then use that to create the world that you want. This is what Disney does to people, and they use predictive programming. And of course, Hollywood is rife with it. So the idea of killing they couldn't, unless they wanted the spell to be the result, a massive revolution in America, because people are bringing guns to Obama rallies now, right? Semi-automatic weapons. Have you seen that?
Well, I saw it. I think in New England they had one.
Yeah, it was New Hampshire, and then another one, I think, in Ohio.
Arizona.
Yeah. Arizona, you're right.
Arizona.
Okay. So this idea that, they tell you that Obama's going to restrict your guns so that everybody will go out and buy guns and ammunition. The whole thing is to get us to kill one another. Mm-hmm. And so when we look at this program as that, then it becomes an entirely different situation.
Here we have this man. We're not really sure how he got put into office, what his purpose is in office. And is he going to be the great Marxist progressor where he's going to now... I mean, we're already losing our rights, Freeman, and is he going to do more?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He says we're going to have to work. Even if you don't think it's right, you're going to serve the system. And now they've coupled the Boy Scouts with Homeland Security. They're getting their Obama youth ready. Oh, it's just like Hitler all over again, definitely. With more, though, you know, and now Hitler has the true power that he really wanted. You know, if you ever thought Hitler was a scary dream, then Obama is twice as scary. But it's not Obama, of course. This has all been the plan. The man, the Bill Clinton, the saxophone-playing David Letterman watching, you know, man of the people, who, if you watch my video on Anna Nicole Brittany and mind control, you will see is actually a mind control agent. Then you find out that they were planning this all along up to Obama. So what I said after they brought down the man was that they needed to bring down the system. And so, of course, all of the questions, the black box voting, and all of the shenanigans, these are all things that are within the spell that we're supposed to be reacting to. And so the very fact that W, and I picked W because his letter, W, is the letter of the fallen angels. It's VV66, same for Hitler's Volkswagen, right?
I read that too as well.
Yeah, Phillips 66, Volkswagen 666, you know, and so I predicted W would be forced into office because they needed it to look like the voting didn't matter, and so then they you know, everybody knew he was forced in by Jeb Bush, but I was saying no, this is a conspiracy within the conspiracy. You're supposed to know this, right? This is supposed to make you angry. It's psychological warfare. So after they took down the man, then they took down the system. The very next thing, of course, is the Constitution, and that's what we were talking about before. And the idea that that's when I said W would be the last American president, because the next one would have to be challenged. And in this way, then they could call for the Constitutional Convention, which they have not been able to get open and have been trying to open since Bill Clinton's time, to rewrite the Constitution. And what happens is many people back in the Clinton era, when they were discussing this, we're saying that, you know, you got to understand that when you have a constitutional convention, that opens the entire Constitution to revision, not just the parts that you think are getting revised. And so that's the key ingredient here. And the reason that they would have to destroy this Masonic document, the Constitution, is because it was a spell cast to bring up people over here, to bring about this first free nation, so that they can then use the free nation to create a global world government. Now, what happens is that free nation needs to become a heretic. That free nation needs to become Satan. And so that's what they have made of us. And so Walt Disney, CBS, MSNBC, all of these horrible corporations have been programming the minds of children and adults with violence and aggression, and they've made us look like we are just the evilest, most dumb people on the planet. And this is so that when they do get their global government out of this, then they can refer back to America and say, look, this is what happens when we're not controlling you. This is what happens when people are given liberty. So what they need us to do is to violently react to their stage play so that they can then foment and create their global network, their global government, their new world order, and use us as an example as to what not to do.
Well, tell me this then, Freeman. You know, I've had Philip Berg on our show, and I'm trying to get Orly Tates on. You know, I have real doubts that he is an American citizen, but let's take the position, just for the sake of argument, that he isn't. Why in the world would they spend all that time grooming this man, putting all that money forward, if they thought for a second he was going to be challenged? Why did they just come out with a birth certificate then?
He has paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to the court cases, 16 court cases, 2 Supreme Court cases against him, as being Barry Soetoro, a.k.a. Barry Dunham, a.k.a. Barack Obama. When they are casting these type of spells, and I hate to say this, but they will use someone like Orly Tates. Now, she's not a very well-spoken woman. She does not classify and database her argument at all. I watched her in front of the press release, and she starts in mid-concept and does not outline anything and uses a talk show radio host as her evidence. So to me, this is the same as having, well, Alan Keyes, you know, coming forth and saying Barack's an abomination.
Like I do like Alan.
Right, but these are people that no one's going to take legitimate. No one's going to take them seriously. So that's the whole thing, is they don't want it to be taken seriously. They just want it serious enough to bring about what they need, which is the Constitutional Convention, in my opinion. So Orly Tates is not supposed to be taken literally. She's not supposed to be.
What about Philip Berg?
Well, we don't see much of him, do we?
Not lately, but he's been all over the news before.
Yeah, so they get the concept going, and then they let it roll.